Satanaka, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast. You better eat more meat.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick. Joining me, as always, is Taylor. Taylor.
Nick, what up?
What
We're back for another episode. What's happening?
And within
this?
a week, it's kind of amazing.
Weird.
Weird.
We're kind of trying to make this a thing.
I know, isn't it kind of awesome? Also, for the second time in a row, we have a guest, Kraftium.
Hello.
A lot of people know who this is on our Discord, so you guys join our Discord. You get to meet this fine young man. How are you, man?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Alive.
Yeah. That's a mood.
Yeah. Living in California, it's always fun. Yeah, so we're here. Lots of stuff actually happened in the last week. But first, let's do a live read. You know what? I'm just going to shill, I'm going to shill our podcast. If you guys want to see more of us, see actual videos done, join our Discord and subscribe to our Patreon or Subscribe Star. It would help us out greatly to bring out more content because I have to work a lot of hours just to do this, or just to survive in this world, I should say. And if you guys support us, we will be able to bring more content out. And if Taylor helped me out a little bit, it would be pretty good, pretty nice, right, Taylor? How dare you have your own YouTube channel? Same with you, Kraft. But yeah, so join our community because our community is awesome. We get a lot of cool things there. Lots of waifus. We miss Kraftium because he's too popular for us now. But
no.
And
but yeah, sorry.
But yeah, so let's move on to the podcast. So, have you guys been playing Tales of Arise?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm doing post game, boys. I'm way ahead.
Yeah, he's fancy. He's got those contacts, unlike us.
Doing those cameo battles.
I'm trying to worm my way in there, but no, I've been very busy or dying from illness, so I've not gotten around to Arise 2 just yet. But I have played the demo, so I do know how it plays.
That's good. Actually, before we talk about games, right? I wanna go back in time, and I wanted to talk to you, Kraft, about this like months ago. Is it Nagatoro, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
All right. Did the anime do the manga justice?
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's I only watched a few episodes because I'd only recently read up to where the anime got to in the manga, but it's probably it's slightly toned down from 10 to maybe 8.5 in terms of how it's handled. But that's probably for the better, to be honest, because the author's he's definitely got a type that he likes, and it's probably a bit too much for most people, but it's very wholesome for the most part. I liked it.
You're saying that I actually got farther than Kraft in Nagatoro manga?
Maybe a little bit farther. I like to drop off and then save until there's 30 chapters at least, and then I'll binge through all of those at once.
So, Taylor, you watched the first episode and you're like, this is a little too much, right? That was your reaction?
No, I think I watched the whole season. Maybe I missed the last 2 or 3 episodes, but it slowly got more wholesome, I think, like Kraft said.
Yeah, got very wholesome. And then they added a new waifu character, the president.
Just don't read the original webcomic. It's the gap between the end of the anime and the first episode is about doubled the other way with that webcomic. It's it's actually just straight bullying.
Well, I mean, the first episode was just straight bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for season 2 because I still have like 4. I have 4 manga. There's 4 books past the anime, I think 4 or 3.
Yeah.
So
There was only, I think when the anime announced, they were like 1 book ahead of where the anime left off.
I'm actually amazed at how much they fit in the anime. Like a lot of the stuff is actually there.
Yeah.
Some things were moved around, but like most of the stuff in the anime, in the manga, was in the anime. And they actually added more for Yoshi because Yoshi in the background was just a background character in the manga. Yep, that's what I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if our resident Nagatoro lover like this anime.
In that like sort of area of anime, the next one to keep an eye out for is Komi-san Can't Communicate.
I was about to ask you about that. Yeah, that's coming out soon, right?
Yeah. I'm really surprised they're getting anime for that because like the whole thing is that she doesn't talk, so you like she kind of does at certain moments. So like getting a voice actress to play her, whatever she's gonna do, it's gonna be hard to live up to whatever people have got in their heads.
Like High Score Girl, the girl doesn't talk; she just makes noises.
Yeah.
What's that one? There's one anime that I would watch where the girl would always like make little signs and then hold up signs. Does she do that, or is she just quiet?
So there is like she does write a couple of things down. There's like a big scene in like the first chapter where like her and the main dude like have a full conversation like from one side of the chalkboard to the other. But no, for the most part, she just doesn't talk. And everybody in school just thinks that she's like a sort of elegant beauty that feels like she doesn't need to talk when actually she's just an anxiety-ridden mess.
And all she wants to do is find friends, right?
Yeah, she wants to make 100 friends.
That's the plot.
Very wholesome.
Yep. You do like them wholesome animes.
Wholesome high school, like.
And tan girls.
I mean, yeah, we like Yaru's too. Gal Gohan is very good. It's also wholesome, mostly.
It's kind of out there, especially the manga.
Yeah.
Taylor, what have you been up to for the last week?
I mean, it was. I mean, mainly trying to do more post-game content in Arise, and that's pretty much it. I mean, haven't really played anything new. Haven't really watched. Well, I watched Shang. No, I didn't. That wasn't in the last week. Yeah, pretty much just Tales of Arise.
Tales of Arise and Craft. You were just dying from pneumonia.
Yeah, that's been fun. Yeah, the last week's not been too eventful, but like in the sort of general recent memory, I've played through the Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2.
NES?
No. I mean,
Gaiden?
Yeah. I played through like the reboots, but I did watch the NES like sort of games. I couldn't be bothered to get an emulator to play them, considering I was like, oh, I know how hard they are, or supposedly are. And I watched the anime movie from like 1991 because I'm just, for some reason, whenever I get into a series, I'm like, I've got to experience all of it,
even if it's crap. Got to do it.
Yeah.
Did it have that early 90s English dub, or did you watch it in Japanese?
It doesn't have a dub.
Oh.
Which like it's one of these things where like I struggle to find it higher than 240p.
Hey, that's how we used to watch it, back in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. It was the true experience. It was only 40 minutes as well. It was a fun little like just a side thing.
I found my Trigun that my brother downloaded it a long time ago. I think like on Aimster or something like that. And it was like in 24p, and I was watching. I'm like, how did we watch anime like this. Everything is just a jumble of pixels.
It's beautiful. That's the true experience. That's
Yeah.
what kids are missing out these days.
And I remember it being so clear. Just like, oh my gosh. Just like what have you ever watched the streams from old E3s from like 2008, 2007? They are
Oh yeah.
they are awful. They're
Yeah.
like the worst quality and they're like very boring like the first half is a very boring like staff meeting kind of thing. I was like, wow. Things have really changed. Now everything's just a third person world adventure, which we're going to be talking about soon. Another thing was did the Matrix 4 trailer come out this week?
It
All right.
did.
Okay, let me guess. Kraft, you're like, eh. Trailer's like, I can't wait to see this movie.
I'm somewhere in between. I'm like cautiously optimistic, but I'm like, why isn't Morpheus in it? Why isn't Agent Smith in it? I thought Neo died. I thought Trinity died. So I don't know. I mean, spoilers, I guess, for a 20-year-old movie almost.
Series. And Kraft,
Yeah.
what about you?
So I don't tend to watch trailers for films outside of the cinema. I really like that sort of part of going to the cinema and seeing trailers up on the thing. So it's one of the few things, like, because I'm not into movies like I am games, like I can resist not jumping on trailers. So I haven't actually seen the trailer for the new one, but it has reminded me that I've never seen 2 or 3, so I need to get around to them.
Well, good thing, because it
Oh,
seems like
oops.
they retcon 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
Apparently
Don't
I
worry,
just
Taylor.
spoiled it.
I kind of glazed over when I heard the first died, so I was like, okay, no, I'm toning Taylor out here.
No, but Taylor, you didn't know that this is apparently a sequel to the first movie, and they
Oh,
retcon
really?
they
Okay,
retcon
I
two
get-
and 2 and 5, 2 and 3.
Interesting.
That's what they're saying, but I don't know. I think it's just all this is this a reboot of the first one. That's
It's a
all.
C-boot.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a soft reboot.
that's what I
It's all
think. That's
about
exactly.
the money.
Yeah, that's what it. And it was like really on the notes. Like, look, he's taking blue pills, and look, it's the White Rabbit. Oh my gosh! I'm like, oh my gosh, this is.
He's no longer based in red pills.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be awful. They're gonna ruin the Matrix again.
Again. They're gonna ruin it again.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not very optimistic. I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is gonna be like Ghostbusters 2016. That's what I'm calling.
Only time will tell.
All right, so let's talk to more disappointing news. The PlayStation event.
Mm.
Kraft, did you watch this at all?
I did. I luckily I was gonna miss it, but we had a dead shift at work, so I got to leave like an hour early. But yeah, I actually liked this PlayStation event for the most part. Like, I know there wasn't really much JRPG stuff in it, but I think it's the first one they've done that isn't. It's the first one I've walked away from going, that wasn't bad. Which I know isn't a high bar, but
That was better than they've done in a long time.
yeah.
Taylor just had a GIF where it was just someone putting clown makeup on, and then he just starts crying. And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
to be fair, there were some cool games in there that I'm excited about, but it was like, wow, Insomniac just released 2 games back to back, and they're already announcing 2 more. Like, what's everybody else doing? And no Final Fantasy 16. I thought for sure they would show that, but
I mean, TGS is like what, 2 weeks away.
that's
So I think we've got,
yeah.
like, there's another chance of that being there. I do think FF16 might have to wait until Forspoken's out. I don't know. I know they're not being worked on by the same people necessarily, but
I don't want that to be true because Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is waiting for Final Fantasy 16 to come out.
yeah,
No waiting, stop.
you get one game, Nick.
Yeah, just release all of them at the same time. They're all different.
Sorry about that.
You unplugged it?
Yeah, I unplugged my headphones and it was super loud, so I didn't want to burden you guys with feedback.
It's all good. Oh my gosh.
But they did say they were going to show 16 this year, so there's still time.
It's probably going to be either like at the end of the year, or it's going to be at TGS.
Yeah, at the whatchamacallit, the Video Game Awards or the Game Awards or whatever.
They show it there. I'll be.
Who cares? As long as they show it, I don't really care where they show it. Nick just takes everything. Nick is just a curmudgeon that doesn't like fun.
So
Why would you like fun?
I woke up. I was taking a nap and I woke up like, oh my gosh, the PlayStation event's going on. I'm 30 minutes late. And I took my phone and it started loaded it and I started fast forwarding through it to catch up. And I'm like, okay, got it. Okay, I get it. Okay, got it. And then I ended on PlayStation, like PlayStation Studios are going to show their stuff, right? And I'm like, oh sweet, PlayStation Studios. Here comes Legend of Dragoon. The first thing that pops up, Marvel. I'm like, shit. Damn it.
Are you one of these people that's sick of Marvel, Nick?
Nope.
Did Nick die? Nick died.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yep.
He got. Oh,
Yeah, I'm back. I muted myself on accident. I was saying, yes, I am. I've been sick of Marvel since like Iron Man 2.
Oh, wow. I'm definitely feeling fatigued with it, but like,
no,
I still like them, but it's like they had 3 games in this showcase.
Exactly. I'm like, oh no, they're Marvelizing the games. It moved over from the movies and now it's coming to the games. And I was freaking out.
What was the other one? It was Spider-Man, Wolverine,
and they showed Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Oh, Guardian, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably forgot about it because you didn't care, just like everyone else.
Oh yeah, okay. The PlayStation. So who do you think is making Wolverine, right?
It's Insomniac.
It's
Insomniac. Okay.
Yeah.
They should stop making Marvel superheroes and go back to making Infamous, their own original heroes.
That's a Sucker Punch.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
They're too busy making Ghost of Sushi.
They should make
way better.
They should make Ratchet and Clank and bring back Resistance.
They just put out a Ratchet.
They should just reboot Resistance and see how that sells.
No, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Let Resistance rest.
They're gonna remake it.
It had a painful life
because every single game was different. They didn't stick to its.
They sell too. The Spider-Man games sold too well for them to not keep doing it. So I just think they're gonna keep making them until they don't make money, which may never happen.
I imagine they'll keep doing Spider-Man constantly, and then they'll do like one Wolverine, one whatever next, one. Because Spider-Man is like the biggest Marvel.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna cough. Sorry. Okay. Forspoken was shown, and I forgot the Korean game name.
Oh, Project Eve.
Project Eve, which looks just like a Platinum game, kind of, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Korean Bayonetta.
Like a halfway point between like character action and Souls. Like you've got that Souls camera, but you got like DMC movement
and close up to butts.
And close up to butts, which I had a very, very fun interaction on Twitter today of just being like, I feel like I was like, I like her design, and I appreciate a sexy character design, but it is a little trashy. And then everybody's being like, shut up with this social justice nonsense. And I was like, geez, guys.
No, it was just so out of place because back in the day, that's what you'd see, or especially in like Japan and stuff like that. This is what you'd see, not in the Western. Even though PlayStation is Japanese, now it's all Western stuff. So I knew the moment I saw that, like, oh, people are going to complain about that. People are going to complain about this. And I
wasn't even complaining about it, and people attacked me. Yeah. It was fun.
And then Forspoken, it's like a isekai game, right? She gets
Yeah.
isekai.
Yeah.
She gets sucked into a world and she becomes like a mage.
Yep.
She's a. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
What?
God.
She's a.
I can move things with my freaking mind.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. She's in Final Fantasy. She's in Final Fantasy. She's a black mage.
Oh, jeez. Nick just canceled the podcast. We're getting canceled.
Oh dear.
I
But
didn't-
I think Taylor's right with the move things with my like. There was way too many lines in there that were like all like. Who needs to write when you can have a modern day character use way too much modern day slang and just repeat over and over and like overreact to everything they see?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I hope they tone that down or something.
it's
I'm
like
hoping that after the first like hour, it's gone.
she becomes super serious. It's like very, very toned down. But it sounds like they got the Life is Strange writers and the Final Fantasy, game developers, and put them together.
You know what's funny? The people who are writing game, it's actually an interesting pair of writers. So it's Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One, and then it's Amy Hennig, who wrote all the Uncharted games. So it seems like decent writers, but maybe
All
it
the
just
good ones.
maybe it just didn't show well in the trailer. I don't know.
It looked
We'll
interesting.
have to wait and see.
Looked interesting. I just wish it was Final Fantasy 16. I want to see that.
I know.
Uh,
I gotta say though, like I appreciate that we're getting bigger games out of Korea. Having a soft spot in my heart for South Korea, I don't know, it's kind of cool that they're getting their shine outside of like Black Desert. That's like the only game of note that's come out of Korea that people even know about. So it's kind of cool to get like a AAA looking single player game
But is it
from
actually
South Korea.
AAA, or is it like one person's making this kind of studio?
No, apparently I saw something on Twitter today that apparently the studio is 250 people. It's a big studio.
Oh wow.
And the CEO bought everybody in the company PS5s after the showcase, and they had all these pictures of them like wheeling in PS5s and stuff. So
That's
apparently
where
it's a big studio.
that's where all the PS5s went, guy. That's why we're all sold out right now.
That's right. They all went to South Korea.
I know.
All 250 of them.
I know it's been in development for quite a while, like 2 years now, I think. Because somebody posted the teaser trailer, and I was like, "Oh, I remember watching this." And it's like
Yeah.
a thing. But I'm just glad that Project Eve's combat actually feels kind of like the hits look like they feel kind of like fairly chunky. Because a lot of like Korean and Chinese games, like the indies, like Lost Soul Aside is another one that kind of has this problem. Like when they hit things, it's like they're slashing at ghosts. Like there's no like impact to any of the.
Yeah.
Like
what you mean.
Code Vein had it as well. It's a very weird problem that is like I thought this would be solved by now. That you need to like have a bit of hit stop.
And chunky sound.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I mean, Tales of Arise actually does that, and I wasn't sure if I liked that at first, but then it actually works pretty well because, like you said, it kind of gives the combat a little bit of weight, So
Oh, like I thought you were saying it like it feels like it's hitting ghosts. Like no, it doesn't. It's like
no, it does that hit stop thing that Kraft's talking about.
And the sound effects are just chunky.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Tales of Arise. I can't stop thinking about it. But what else was announced? I completely this event completely went through my head and I completely forgot about it. Because
They showed God of War Ragnarok.
Okay, more of the same.
I'm trying to.
What did they end with?
That was. I
God
think
of
they
War.
ended with God of War. Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
Gran Turismo and then God of War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Spider-Man might have been in the middle of those two.
And then they showed Deathloop again and a bunch of other
Deathloop.
games that showed multiple times. And I'm like, okay, is this game out yet? And then they showed Tiny Tina's whatever. I'm like, okay, Borderlands 3.5, I get it. And what else was there?
Uncharted coming to PC and PS5.
Wasn't it?
bad ones?
Yeah, wasn't it only 4 and Lost Legacy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I like Lost Legacy.
and I like 4. So, but I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
I already got it on my PS5. I'm good. Oh, man, I really wanted them to show Silent Hill or something like that.
Silent Hill's never coming back.
There's that rumor where they're remaking the first one. So I wanna see.
Yes.
Oh, and they could have shown like the Dead Space remake or the Dead Space spiritual successor that they showed
Nick,
off. What?
If you're a really good boy, maybe Konami for Christmas will give you a mobile game.
Silent Hill?
Yeah.
No.
Can you imagine a gacha horror game? I don't even know what that would look like.
I mean, there's horror pachinko.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the latest. That's the latest Silent Hill release was a pachinko machine.
Okay, here's one for you guys that kind of bridges the gap a little bit. What are you guys thinking about that? What the hell is that game called? I'm literally watching the trailer right now, and I don't. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yeah, they showed that too.
Yeah.
I still don't really know what the moment to moment of that is going to be like because he's doing like the ninja signs and it's first person, but I'm like, is it open world? Are you going on missions? Is it linear? I don't really understand the flow of this game.
Because they haven't really shown like the game itself really playing. There's the
No.
trailer.
Yeah,
It's all
I
just
think
been
this.
fast cut trailers.
I think this is like the second time we've actually ever seen like gameplay
Hmm.
as well, and the only other time we got like 10 seconds of it or something like that. I think it might be open world because like he does like the slingshot up to like the top of the building, and then like it looks like he's grabbing that like sort of raindrop doll, and that might be like a collectible or something. But I think it looks promising. I don't know if I can fully make my mind up on it yet though.
It looks interesting, but I was really, really hoping it would be like more horror focused. Like it's supposed to. It's like Japanese horror, right? But it's like actiony. I was hoping it would be more like Fatal Framey, But since their pedigree is Evil Within.
Yeah.
I mean, it still has an opportunity to be scary, just be more combat focused. But I think I'll have to wait for like a deep dive. Like I'm hoping they do like a state of plays or something, and they just focus on it. It's like, all right, here's like 15 minutes of uncut gameplay or something. Like that would be great.
Then at the end, it starts showing the Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 trailer. And you're just like, oh, thank God. Thank God.
It's going to be a while till we see that bad boy.
I know. I'm just glad that we saw something in Intergrade.
Did you play Intergrade?
Yeah, I beat Intergrade.
I still haven't played it. Well, I don't have a PS5, so.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what happens? I see a PS5 in the background right now.
Do you?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah, I couldn't help myself. I looked up the ending. It wasn't anything mind-blowing.
It's nice, though. It was nice seeing that. Because it was like, it ends her story, and then it goes to them, and you're like, ah, I miss these characters. Yep. And then the whole Mind F just happens, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that I'm still not sure what's going on.
It's like, okay.
I hope the Mind F is something really important, because I like what's going on in that Mind F.
Yeah.
So do I. I like that we don't know what to expect going forward. That's kind of neat, I think.
Yeah. I need to catch up, because I want to play like Crisis Core and stuff before I get there.
Oh.
Because watch Advent Children.
But did you watch Advent Children complete?
Yeah. But I've even got... Hold on. The definitive version of Advent Children, which is the UMD version.
Oh, wow. That's
because
awesome.
it was like 50p from CEX.
That's funny.
But yeah, I want to play Advent Children. There is a version of Before Crisis that you can play. I want to know how bad it is or how good it is.
That's when he plays the Turks, right?
You play as the Turks, and I love the Turks. But somebody kind of remade it in RPG Maker. I think it, I think it's one of the RPG makers, and it's like a fully playable version in English. And then I love Zach, so Crisis Core, and then I want to play Dirge of Cerberus and say it's good just to spite my friend Justin.
But then you're gonna play and say, "Wait, no, it actually isn't good."
No, I've decided no matter how bad or good it is, I am gonna love Dirge of Cerberus.
It drove some people crazy. So I wish you luck, sir.
Vincent's cool.
Yep. All right. So Kraft he enjoyed the PlayStation event. Taylor, how about you?
I was in the middle. It wasn't like there was some cool stuff that they shown, but I was really hoping for 16. And I actually like the Marvel game, so I'm excited for Wolverine. I'm excited for Spider-Man 2. Forspoken looks cool. Project Eve looks cool. Yeah, it was like I don't know. I'd give it like a 7.5, something like that.
So the only thing I thought was interesting was Forspoken when it was on mute, and Project Eve just looked like a typical, hack and slash. So I can't wait to see more of that. Didn't they show something of Genshin Impact?
No.
Okay, am I going crazy?
I don't think so. I think you are.
I think they did a big. Was the Aloy event like the same day or something?
I remember
Aloy's been added, but I don't know when it wasn't at the showcase, but I think it was.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah,
because they did a state of play not too long ago, and I think that was in the state of play. Maybe I don't know.
All I know is that I jumped into the voice chat and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this was terrible." I'm like, yeah, not everything we hoped of, but hey, TGS is in the future, so we have that to look forward to. But Kraft has Tales of Arise to look forward to, so in a non-spoilery way, let's talk about.
Oh, you can go ahead and
we don't really try to do spoilers, but
yeah.
Let's talk about Tales of Arise. Taylor, ask me questions.
So do you? My theory was because I loved it, I thought you'd hate it. So now that you've kind of got more than just the combat, are you hating it or are you enjoying it? Where are you at?
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's good.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. It's I like the characters. Shion is a tsundere and hasn't stopped being a tsundere for a long time, and I'm like, when is she gonna open up? Come on, I'm at the third lord. When is she opening up?
It's gonna take a while.
but she will eventually. But she does have fun moments in between there, so it's
where she gets all shy.
Yeah, I just love it in the demo. Right, everyone's all like happy and together. It's like, oh yeah, we're a big nice happy party. Oh, that's not how the game is at all.
Not yet.
No. I like that. I like how they're all at they're kind of like at odds at each other all the time. I've heard that it's actually this is actually selling really well.
That's what I heard. I read that its peak player base on Steam was higher than all previous Tales games combined, for whatever that's worth. So, and I will say anecdotally on my review, I got a lot of comments from people saying this is going to be my first Tales game. So I think it's catching a lot of people's attention that normally weren't that interested before.
See, that's a good thing.
It's also a bad thing.
That's also a terrible thing.
Why?
Because you know why? They're coming. And you all know what I'm talking about when I'm saying they're coming.
Arise is going to be Nick Symphonia 2.
No.
Oh.
No. It's going to be Persona 5 all over again.
Oh, no.
It's going to be the fandom's going to get all cringy and stuff. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see I can't wait to see the Discord chats of the party. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Craft. You know what I'm talking about, Craft?
Yeah. I look, Nick. I may be cringe, but I am free.
So yeah, that's a good thing. One thing I am noticing a little bit. I don't know, on the PS5 version, there is a bunch of like the characters just popping in. That's probably there on PlayStation 4, really obviously, right? You're running around, anything, the characters
Yeah.
popping in, and the lip,
Especially in the big cities, yeah.
and so I'm like, okay, I guess they didn't fix that, and the lip sync is off. Some scenes that's
Mm.
bothering me a little bit, but other than that, I like how the game looks, especially the battles. Just recently I unlocked chain battles, and I started doing the chain in that area, and on like my 5th battle, a dragon just flies out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And
So, yeah, sorry,
I-
go on.
and that turned out to be like I had to kill that for a side quest, right? But I didn't know, and I was like, I'm fighting it, and I used all my life bottles, all my orange gels, all my pineapple gels, and I'm like, well, I was at like 5,000 health left, and I ran out of life bottles, and Shion died. And I'm like, well, let's see how long I could last. I got down to like 500 health, and then I died, and I'm like, okay.
Oh no,
I
that
was like,
sucks.
okay, I'll just reload. I don't care. I wasted all my items anyway.
Yeah, so at first that wasn't explained very well. And so at first I'm like, so wait a minute, if you hit max chain, will you always fight a boss fight? Like that's what I thought. I'm like, that's crappy because that sort of de-incentivizes doing those chains, but it's only there. It's only in that one area for that side quest. So that could put any worries to rest if you're thinking that.
No. I got the side quest already, and they're like, oh, he attacks when you're in a battle, and it's in that area. So I'm like, okay. I understand. I like how that's the demo area. I'm in the demo area right now, Craft.
Okay.
And it's nothing like the demo area.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like the whole story and all the things are like different.
Oh,
Like-
I skipped a lot of the story thing. I only paid attention to the skits because the demo story stuff felt like demo stuff. So
Yeah, exactly what it was. The skits though are like the first skits you get in like when you first meet these characters.
okay.
Like the beginning of the game. So it's funny seeing them in different costumes in doing those skits because I'm used to them doing the demo, and I'm like, oh, okay. Taylor, other questions?
Yes. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to like think of it about how you can compare it to other ones. I mean, here's my thought. I don't think we're going back to 2D ever. I think this is the blueprint for Tales games going forward. I think it's bigger areas. I think it's this more dynamic battle system. Are you gonna be happy with that?
Fine with it. They're gonna change stuff up. I could see this being the engine for a while. But
Unreal 4, yeah.
yeah, but I think they are gonna like throw a curveball and say, hey, here's a 2D Tales game for like the Switch or something. I could see that happening.
It's
And-
possible.
and-
they might
and-
do
and-
like what
And people would freak out. Of course, all the new fans would be like, what's this crap? What's this crap? What is this? And then, but us OG fans, right? We're like,
Yep.
Yes.
That's actually an interesting theory because it's almost sort of like what Capcom's doing with Monster Hunter because they have their big budget Monster Hunter World and then they're still making sort of the lower budget for Switch because it's like you got to appeal to Japan, you know? And I don't know if you guys have been following the sales charts in Japan, but like a couple weeks ago, all 30 games were all Switch games. There wasn't a single Xbox or PlayStation game. So I'm curious to see how Arise sells on in Japan, and I'm curious, like what you suggested, Nick, if they end up doing like a Switch exclusive lower budget game to kind of appeal to Japan.
can see that. I think that if we do see it, it'll be like on the Switch 2 or something like that. Because I don't think Nintendo has found its niche market, and it's with the portable system hybrid, which I said all the other systems should do, and they didn't. Dumbasses.
To be fair, they kind of have a monopoly on the handheld gaming market. Well, the real gaming market. Like we're like discounting phones, but like because the Vita died and nobody else is trying to fight them.
The
Well,
Vita,
Steam is.
yeah, the Vita came out too early. I think if it came out a little later, I think it would have done a little better. Because the technology wasn't exactly there yet, but it was getting there.
Met the same fate as the Dreamcast, which
Yeah,
is very similar actually.
The PSP and the Vita both, failed for the same reasons. Except the PSP and the Vita were very popular in Japan, just not here.
Yeah. Bummer.
Bummer. Yeah. So, Kraft, what are you looking forward to for Tales of Arise? If you're even a Tales fan, I don't know.
I am a Tales fan. I'm not the biggest Tales fan. Like it's one of those series that I'll get to playing more eventually, but it's not like very high up on my priority list. I do really like is it Kasara?
Everyone likes
Night
Kisara. Everyone likes her.
I mean, just night. You are not immune to hot. Is it hot female night or whatever the meme is?
Yeah.
I mean,
but,
the game knows. The game knows. It like the developers know what they're doing. Because in the intro, there's literally a shot of her walking past the camera with her butt in like the center frame. I'm like, okay, they know. And it was really interesting. It was really interesting seeing the anime intro because there's no anime aesthetic at all in this game. I mean, you know what I mean, like art, like in the menus, like the old Tales games used to have, and the what's it called, the skits. That's all gone. So to see them actually animated in anime style on the intro was really, really interesting. It looked great. It looked good.
I will say though, keep an eye out. There's quite a few anime style cutscenes sprinkled throughout the game during key story moments, so that won't be the last you see of them.
That's good. That's good.
And I will say, this is a not spoiler thing, but it is a warning. At some point, there is a new opening cutscene that you unlock, but it is like filled with spoilers. So if you're like savvy enough to recognize when that kicks in, because it just like happens in the middle of the game, like it kind of does this sort of like the game ends and then you keep going type of thing. And so when that happens, it unlocks a new cutscene. So if you can sort of recognize when that's happening, I would skip that if you can, because there's some spoilers in there.
Like spoilers that haven't happened yet after you've beaten the game. What the heck?
Yeah, it totally gives it away. It's like watching an anime opening, and it's like not obvious at the time, but when you rewatch it with context, it's like, whoa, I can't believe they just play this like in the middle of the game. Like it's wild. So yeah.
I love that. Anime intros that do that are great too.
My favorite, this is like totally unrelated, but my favorite meme of that, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like anime openings versus the endings, and the opening is like Kermit with a machine gun, and then the ending is like him looking out the window and it's like raining outside. Have you seen that meme?
No.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
they're
god!
gonna hype you up for the episode and then calm you down when it's
right.
over.
And it's totally true. That's how it is. But unless it's a wholesome anime like the ones that Kraft love, then the intros are all like, yeah, or the endings, I should say, not intros.
Good vibes only. Like.
Yeah, all good vibes.
Here, I posted it in the chat for whatever it's worth.
Then there's the lovers war ending with the Chiaki dance.
That was in one episode. One episode only.
It came back for like 2 more, I'm pretty sure.
It was that
they
legendary.
realized.
Yeah. They were flexing with that animation.
It was just rotoscoping.
It doesn't matter. They were flexing.
They were doing they were having a good time.
Yep. Imagine how long that took. I didn't see it. It hadn't popped up, Taylor.
Really? You haven't
Yeah, I
seen
can't
it?
see it either.
Yeah,
What?
You didn't send it.
Taylor, are you
whoops.
sending?
I posted it in the wrong thing. Oops, just kidding.
Are you sending memes to strangers?
I am.
Like,
There
you
we
know, anime intro. Anime. It's true. It's true. So I just saved right in front of the palace of where you finally meet Kisara. I'm right there. I think yesterday I just did grinding for about 5 hours.
Wow.
Did you ever do that? Just where you just started just running around the world doing a bunch of side quests and leveling up your SP. You know what my SP is at right now for like all my characters? It's like 3,000.
Jeez.
And I haven't even. I was like, I don't care. I'm just leveling up. I haven't picked my skills yet. I have a lot to pick from, but I'm just like,
Back to the grind.
yeah.
I will say this too. I never really felt the need to grind, but I did feel the need to grind. Well, I didn't need to grind for experience, but I did need to grind for money. I feel like money comes at a premium in this game. Like monsters don't drop money. You only get money from selling items and for doing side quests.
Yep.
And the best way to make money is from fishing. Weirdly enough,
I haven't even been able to fish yet. So
you have to, when you get Kisara in the party, that's when you can fish because she's like the fishing master or whatever. So
is the staff guy the last party member?
Yes. Dohalim? Yeah.
Dohalim. I really like him as well. Like gameplay wise, he was really fun, like sort of like launching people and like throwing the staff about and then doing magic.
wow.
And he can heal too, which is cool.
You just said his name, and I'm like, wow, that just spoiled a lot of things for me.
But he was like in all the marketing material.
I know,
It's
but
not
I
like-
didn't know his name, and then I was like, wait a second. Wait a second.
I couldn't pronounce or remember his name because it was like I knew it was Do something, but
No, I heard that name a lot in the last few cutscenes. So when Taylor said it, and then I'm like, it just clicked in my brain. I'm like, interesting. I get it now. I don't mind it. Taylor. Don't worry.
Good.
Okay. Who's the best character that you enjoy the most, Taylor?
Story wise or gameplay wise?
Both.
Both. Story wise, definitely Shion. I love her arc the most. Gameplay, I don't know. Gameplay wise, it's tough because I felt like for certain fights, the melee fighters would just get destroyed because the boss will do like AoEs or big ground attacks. So I would say,
Like the second lord,
yeah,
double lightning. I'm like, I can't do anything.
yeah.
I think
playing on hard, by the way.
No, I'm playing on moderate. I just wanted to get through the game.
Okay.
I'll play on hard in the second playthrough. But
Okay.
that guy casts indignation 3 times on me.
Yeah, pretty annoying.
Yeah, he just kind of starts casting it and like, just keep punching him, maybe I'll stun him. No.
If I had to pick though, it'd be probably a tie. My favorite melee fighter is definitely Law. He's just so fast. He's like totally the type of fighter that I like. He's like super fast and quick, and he also has like a monk type heal that you can unlock later, which is fun. And then I actually really liked Rinwell. Like when I played the demo, she was like my least favorite character. But then once I figured out how to use her, because she has skills that unlock in her tree, where basically like the longer you string combos together, the faster she can cast her next spell. So she's just like starting to sling spells super fast, and she was really fun. Like
She can
by the end of the game,
she can store spells and steal spells. And I think the way it happens is you can store a spell and then cast a spell and then cast the spell that you stored right after, and it's like an upgraded spell or something like that. Is that how it works?
sure. I never really did much of that, but it was for me. It was mainly just building up the combo counter to do spells faster.
Because I see her doing Freeze Lancer sometimes. I'm like, she doesn't have any ice spells. The hell?
She eventually, huh? I wonder if she's like a blue mage where she like steals it because she has Freeze Lancer in my game or in my file, so maybe I just unlocked it or something. But
Shion has Freeze Lancer, but not Winrow.
interesting.
I don't know. I was just interested. Like, what's like? How are you casting spell? And stop going blah 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 magic.
That's so funny. I love that she does that. Blah blah blah. Oh, and here's another little tip. So each character has 2 mystic arts, and the way you unlock them is you have to talk to party members a certain amount of times at campsites.
You know, Taylor, I'm gonna say there's probably more than 2 per character, and they're super secret.
Probably.
Because I noticed that in a lot of Tales games, you could do mystic arts with like dual mystic arts, where both 2 characters do mystic arts at the same time. I have no idea how you do that. I've never done that in any of my Tales games, and now people are like, "Wow, you're such a scrub." It's like, well, I just never thought about it. I always do my normal mystic arts. So maybe that's interesting. Maybe that's there. I tried to do the arena, and I couldn't. I'm not on a high level yet.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. The last one's like you have to be level 99 for, so. Yep.
All right. So let's move to a craft. Or it's what's a JRPG series that we wanted to get into but never found the time to play it? Craft, you start because this is your question.
Okay. Ooh. One of them is definitely probably like Fantasy Star, and like I don't mean online, I mean like the original ones, because they're like something I didn't know about at all until I was like 15 or something, and I found them. I discovered them. And was like, oh, I really like this sort of like the comic book sort of panel sort of thing they have for cutscenes in a lot of them, which like especially for the time that they were doing it at, because like they're a Master System and Genesis games, so
Really old games.
like yeah, they're quite old, but like that sort of style is like really cool for the time. At least I think.
Yeah, it is. Just you gotta think how they did that on those systems. It's just like wow.
Yeah. Because I mean I wasn't really playing games back then, so a lot of the stuff when I assume a lot of the stuff is all just old, and then I see new things. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like that, a lot of the time. But yeah, fantasy, like the original Fantasy Stars, like definitely something that's interests me. Same for Wild Arms as well. Like Wild Arms, Shadow Hearts are 2 games that I've got a friend who very, very, very religiously tries to get everyone to play. But I'm definitely being like, it's on the list. I'm gonna get there one day. But Wild Arms in particular, like I like the aesthetic of like the sort of steampunky cowboy look to it. I think I have one of the PSP ones like downloaded, ready to play on my totally legal PSP HD.
Totally legit. Yeah, totally legit.
You just there's a secret HD button on the back of every PSP that you can just turn on.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Taylor, did you beat Wild Arms? I remember you played it, but did you beat it?
Yeah, I beat the first one.
Yeah.
I never beat the second or the third though, but I played quite a bit of 3 and a little bit of 2.
Yeah. Wow. I remember I played it a little bit and it was kind of confusing, but that was during my I don't care about games, era. So I kind of got to get into that. I've played most of the series. Like I want to try Breath of Fire 3 and 4, and I've played Breath of Fire 1 and 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the Super Nintendo?
Yeah. Except on the Game Boy Advance.
Ah, interesting.
I played the Super Nintendo version when I was in Arizona on my Switch, and holy crap, is that thing archaic. But hey, I got through it. I got
I,
through
play,
it.
I played like the first 5 hours of Breath of Fire 1 on my 3DS when like they were adding Super Nintendo games, and I was like, oh, this game it doesn't feel like visually it looks like a like Super Nintendo game, but like story wise, like it feels like a NES JRPG. There's like at least from what I remember, there's like barely any dialogue.
Yeah. It's just like you walk in the area and it's like, oh no, we're under attack. Hey you, go to this place and help us. Okay. Just dialogue like that.
Fight the man who's attacking the village.
All right. And I think in the SNES version there's no running, but in the Game Boy Advance version there was. But Breath of Fire 3 apparently is really good because Connor recommended it. A series that I really want to try is Radiata Stories. It's not really a series, the game. I really want to try that. I messed with it a little bit. It's one of those you could recruit like everyone in the city kind of games, you know, like Suikoden.
Mm-hmm.
Those games kind of overwhelm me. Like it feels like I have to do everything at once. But I really got to delve into it because I have it and I can play it. And I finally beat Tales of Eternia, which was only like a couple days. Played that for a couple days and I beat it. Oh
Nice.
yeah. And then Tales of Arise came out, and I'm like, ooh, the polar opposite of Tales. A 2D Tales and a brand new modern 3D one. And they both hold up well.
Nice.
I think Taylor would like it. The only thing that Taylor would not like in Eternia is the random battles. What about you, Taylor? What series that you've been looking at?
One that just continues to escape me for no good reason.
Project Cross Zone, I know.
I played that one actually.
But did you beat it?
No, I did not. But one series I have not even played, but I would love to play is Yokai Watch. It's level 5 to have that charming sort of like life in Japan feel. I love games where it's like you play in modern day Japan and you just get to walk around and it's.
Did you not get it for your 3DS?
Nope, never played it. No.
Wait, do you own it?
Nope.
All right, I want you to try to find it and play it. I want to get your live reaction, not live reaction. I want to get to your reaction to it because it's kind of polarizing. The first one, at least. I don't know about the other ones, but the first one is kind of polarizing.
Yeah, I heard maybe skip the first one.
Okay.
For a lot of people, because I mean, I don't know too much about it. Yokai Watch was always one of the like. For the longest time, I made fun of it, of just being like the sort of joke, like if there's a kid character, be like, "Oh, mom, buy me Yokai Watch," and then the moment I was like, they showed off Yokai Watch 4 for the Switch, and I was like, this frame rate's kind of choppy, but this looks interesting. This looks cool. It's a very Ni no Kuni 1-ish looking.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh. I can't wait for that to come over here. I'll maybe give Yokai Watch a try. And I'm still saying that, like, what? 4 years later? It came out in the first year, did it?
The first
3 or 4 years.
When they first came out, it kind of exploded in Japan. I remember Taylor telling me about it.
Oh my god, dude. It was like crazy. It was weird though, because like the game didn't launch big right out of the gate, but then when the anime came out, the game started selling like crazy. It was insane. So they just ran that series into the ground in Japan because they were doing like spin-offs and side games and all kinds of weird stuff. But yeah, I'm watching a trailer for Yokai 4 or Yokai Watch 4 right now, and Kraft's kind of right on the nose with like especially the gameplay looking like Ni no Kuni, because you throw out your little yokai, it's real-time action. Because the 3DS games are sort of weird, like the game sort of plays itself and you are like rotating a wheel on the bottom screen and you're just rotating monsters that auto attack or something. It's really strange. But
oh yeah, I heard all the stories from all the little kids are like, this game sucks, and GameStop, because they would buy it and then they would return it and they'd be like, this game's awful, you don't even play the game. It's like, okay. Didn't know that. Because they
Yeah.
thought they're getting like Pokemon, but no.
I think like the first one is just that, and then like 2 and 3 add like a bit more that
Mm.
sort of.
Yeah, I heard 3 is the best one. Oh, I don't know about 4, but
I still find it really weird that like Yokai Watch started doing. I don't know if they started with 1 or they started with 2, but they did the Pokemon thing of release 2 versions and then release a third version with like them both combined and extra stuff like a year later. And then yeah, I believe so. Because that's why we got so many. Why it felt like we were always getting one is because we were getting those, but we were getting them at a much faster rate. Because in Japan they were like 3 or 4 games ahead of us. If you encountered included the sort of third version, so for some reason I don't know why we just didn't get the third version only over here.
wasn't there a third version for Pokemon in Japan? It was a red, blue, and green. Trying to remember.
So Japan they were planning on doing that, but they just got red and green. And then over here they renamed green to blue, which also renamed the rival character, which irritates me to no end because this wiki page has character name blue and then pronunciation in Japanese grinu. It's like,
There's also supposed to be like, I don't know if it was a remaster or a remake of Yokai Watch 1 on the Switch, and we definitely never got that. I don't know if it ever came out in Japan.
Are you looking at
But,
it?
it was after 4 came out. I can't. I think 4 came out on Switch, and then 4 got announced for PS4. And I think the remake of the first one came out like around about that time as well.
All
It
right.
was all in the same
Mm-hmm.
period.
So Taylor, Yokai Watch, me, not Wild Arms, the Breath of Fire 3 and 4, Shadow Hearts, and for Craft, Shadow Hearts, Wild Arms, and the other game doesn't matter.
Star.
No, Fantasy Star. No, there's another game with the Shadow Hearts. What was the other game?
I said Shadow Hearts and Wild Arms like together.
Oh, together? I thought there was another one. Okay, so Fantasy Star, Wild Arms, Shadow Hearts. Which games would you guys recommend, actually? So go comment below or talk to us on the Discord. Join the Discord. All right, Taylor. Where is Falcom going to take Ease? After 9.
I was joking before the podcast started, and I said, hopefully to a new game engine.
Definitely, because it's still using that old beta engine, I think.
Yeah, it's shown its age for sure. But sorry, what were you gonna say, Kraft?
It's the same one I think Neptunia uses, or at least the old Cold Steels were. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You know, the stiff animations.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that. Yeah, I mean, the Kuro no Kaseki engine looks pretty solid. So hopefully going forward, it can look nice and smooth like that. I think it seems like every handful of games, Ease does something kind of new, and then it becomes a new standard. Like with Ease, I want to say it was with E7, they added the character switching thing, and now that is just like every new Ease game has the character switching thing. For me, I feel like it would be really hard to go back after Ease 9 if you don't have some sort of like unique movement mechanics, because like you have the running up the wall, the gliding, the little zipping to spots. To me, I feel like Ease is not going to feel the same if they don't have something like that in Ease 10 or whatever the next one is. So that's where I hope they go next, or at least I hope they continue with that, because that was one of my favorite things about Ease 9. And I also hope Falcom has this bad habit of feeling like they need to pad their games out, so they do these like inner between chapter little mini stories. Like they did it in Tokyo Xanadu, they did it in Ys 9, and they both just, I feel like it brings the pacing to like a screeching halt in both of those games. So I hope they stop doing that because it's really annoying and it doesn't really add anything to the game. So yeah, that's kind of my hope. They continue with the fun movement, and they stop with the boring filler episodes.
The Tokyo Xanadu and the Ys 8 ones are just because it's the EX version.
Oh, I'm saying Ys 9, where you're in the prison.
Yeah, I know that
And
that
Ys
one.
8 and Ys 8 too. Although I like Dana a lot better than anything you do in Tokyo Xanadu and Ys 9. But yeah, I don't want him to do that anymore. It's annoying.
But what kind of party swap would you want? Because the Ys 8 and Ys 9 have the instant where you just teleport where you're at. They change your character's instantly changes. But
My
in
turn.
yeah, and then Memories of Celceta, you actually the camera moves to where the character is on the screen. And I don't know. Does E7 do that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it does. I think even Ys 8 did it where it changed your party member would just switch to where your active one is. And the reason I think that is because when I would do the speed run, it's like it's just instantaneously switching, it's not like going back and forth. So I think that's just how they're going to keep it.
I think it's with like the 3D camera. They didn't want it like shifting all over the place, like and like spinning round, because that's a good way to get motion sickness.
No, that's a good
'Cause, like,
point. Yeah.
When it's like a static screen and you can already see everyone, it doesn't have to move too much.
So how about this? They go back to the classic and get rid of the party system and make it more dungeon crawly.
No. No.
Mm. Mm.
I think so. What I kind of want them to do is maybe not necessarily have like an active party system, because they've done that for 4 games now, and the other systems have only ever last like 3, unless you count like old bump combat. But yeah,
No bump combat.
hey, bump combat is amazing.
It's
But,
something.
I would like maybe like just having like 3 characters and maybe not like switching between them constantly, but like have Adol, have Dogi, and then have like one character who's like the sort of main character of that game, like a Donna or like an Aprilis or something.
So that's got to be an orange-haired girl or a blue-haired girl.
Yeah. And they've got to fall in love with Adol, and then at the end of the game, when they're about to confess to him, Adol goes, "That's cool. Give me 2 secs. Me and Dogi are just going to explore the world for about 20 more years." But
Yep.
hold that thought. I'll be right back. But yeah, I'd like it if maybe instead of just having like a party and thing, you are just the one person, but they made it a little bit more in depth. Like you've got like that one single normal combo of attacks. If you could maybe have like a weak and a strong attack and just give you a little bit more variation, and maybe change how you do special inputs. I don't know. You don't want to make it too like fancy. Like you don't want to make it like a DMC or anything, because it's not what East is supposed to be.
So Taylor really likes those movement abilities, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So those movement abilities are still there, but you find them. You learn them from certain characters, and you could use them to explore the world, and the world expands the more abilities you get, right? So it's making me think, hey, why don't they make it like a Metroid game? Where you could explore the world, explore the like multiple dungeons, right, in the area that you're at, and the more abilities you get, the more like secret rooms and abilities you could find, items and stuff like that.
I'm okay with that. I like that idea.
They do already use the Metroid jingle whenever you open a chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
that's been in every Ys game, so
And it's been in every Metroid game too. Yep. It's the exact same melody.
Yep. It's yeah, I think Ys used to do that though. You used to get different abilities and stuff, and you could backtrack and find new things.
Yeah, you did. I'm trying to think. Ys 6 Arc of Napishtim did it quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I
but
was thinking.
The map's not terribly large, so it doesn't really quite feel. But and it's really just.
Holy! Did you play the PS2 version, right?
No, I play PC.
All right. Does it still
But I
have?
know about the PS2 version.
Does it still have those really awful 3D rendered movies?
Oh
No.
God.
Luckily, it's the Xseed port, not the Konami port.
Okay, so I just watched it and I was like, "Holy crap! This is like watching." It reminds me of the box art on Breath of the Fire 1 and 2 on the Super Nintendo, because he looks like freaking Conan the Barbarian. And then you play the game and it looks nothing like that at all.
No.
That
E3.
It's
I'm gonna send something in chat because.
oh man, I was like, dude, these are awful. This can't be. You're saying that it wasn't Falcom, it was Konami who did that?
Yeah, but that's specific. That's not the PS2 version specifically. That's the American PS2 version.
Okay.
All of the oh god, what do you call them? All of the sort of anime cutscenes that you get on the PC, and you can unlock them on the American version as well. You've just got to beat the game first. But all of that in Japan stayed fine.
Oh man,
But,
Taylor, you got to see these cutscenes. They're so
Seeing them,
they're so
cringe.
bad. Because you see the characters like these look nothing like the art at all.
So you're Adol the Red.
Yep.
But no, if you want Conan Adol, I've just sent a.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's East free.
For the Sega
Holy
Genesis.
cow,
And if I can find it, Falcom know about this because in their parody anime, he shows up as American Adol, and Adol's like, "Oh God, we've got to get rid of him."
Wow, that's funny.
That's just how it was back in the day. Like, whenever you got like a Japanese RPG like this, and they made Conan the Barbarian the main characters.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really funny that he
a lot of
shows up.
A lot of that era of like video game box art, I find is really ugly. And then you look at the Japanese version and you go, "Why couldn't we have this?"
So we weren't weeb enough. We
God.
weren't.
The
America
past disappoints me.
Yeah, America wasn't weeb enough. Now we're too
sure
much.
weren't.
Now we're too much weeb.
No, you can go more. I believe in you.
Oh, we could go
Did you-
more.
Did you hear that manga is outselling like traditional comics
could
in
go
America now?
Yeah.
We could go more, guys.
There's I think it's the top 30 manga, or the top 30. Hey, Coco. The top 30 manga comics that were sold for like the last 3 months have all been manga, and a bunch of the American comic book writers have been getting really pissy about it. And like one guy who was like, "Oh, it's because they're all like sexualizing like the characters, and it's all pedophilic," and it's like, dude, you're the guy who made Power Girl. Like,
Yeah, the funny thing is My Chemical Romance. I don't know why I said that. My Hero Academia outsold all of the comics that came out like that month. My Hero Academia outsold all of them combined.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
American comics are.
I know. Oh god, what was it? I know. Like, I think it was No, it was some like book company. If you go to their like website at the moment, their sort of best sellers, like among all books, are manga, and it's like, oh god, nobody reads anymore.
Read sexy manga.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Now I keep thinking about that Ys game that's like Metroid. I was like, I want to play it now.
Yeah, I mean, you play the original Ys free. That's got the Metroid camera angle.
It's 2D?
It's 2D and it's like a side scroller.
I did not know
And
that.
if you press the button like fast enough, Adol swings his sword like sword like it's a razor blade. It's like zzz. And you have to do that because like they'll throw like 20 enemies at you like back to back.
Man, I gotta see Ys 3. I gotta see it. See this. Okay. Taylor, you liked Ease 9 more than 8, right?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Mm.
I like them. I think they both did different stuff. Like Ease 8 feels more like an Ease game. Like you've got like the big island and jungle stuff to explore, and there's a lot more stuff. Like it feels more adult being an adventurer. And I feel like the village stuff worked a lot better than the bar. Like you could see it getting, like as more people entered it, you could see it getting better and better as you went. I feel like a lot of the stuff worked better in East and like all culminated together a lot better. But I do think like East Nine's city, while it's pretty small, is a really, really good example of how to do an open world city with like collectibles and stuff. There was always something there to go grab, but
Yes.
it never felt overwhelming at the same
Mhm.
time, which I liked a lot.
Yeah,
But I don't think everything in the East Nine necessarily meshed together too well. But the individual parts I liked a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it, because I think that's one of my favorite things about Ease 9 is, like you said, there's like the blue flowers, um there's a little landmarks all over the place, and then there's like those little dimension shift battles that are like everywhere, and you can just fight them and get it over real quick, and those always contribute to unlocking the next section. So it felt like that dopamine hit just kept going off. And then in Ease 8, I felt like Ease 8 was a little bloated, both story wise. Yeah, basically, it's story wise. Like I felt like it overstayed its welcome. You know, I beat Ease 9 in like 25 hours. I was like, that was perfect. When the game was over, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and get the platinum, but like I feel pretty darn satisfied right now.
Ease 8 had a ghost ship. That's all that matters.
It did have a ghost ship.
You haven't seen those in years.
I think the only thing I'd really change about East 8 is I'd maybe get rid of the murder mystery thing in chapter 2.
Yeah.
Like I know it's kind of needed because there's an important story thing that happens. I'm sure you could probably move that to somewhere else and have it work differently. But like that part of the game as well, I dropped off for like 6 months, and then I came back and then beat it all in like 2 weeks or so. And the end game of East 8, there is a period where it feels like you go like 3 rooms, and then like it happens like 4 times in a row. You go like 3 rooms, and then it's like, hey, monster raid, get back here. And it's like, no, let me progress. I don't want to do another.
Did any of you get the real ending?
Yeah. I did everything in East 8.
But did you guys beat it in under 2 hours?
You got us there, Taylor.
I mean, give us a sec. I'll buy it on Steam, and then I'll use that software that gives me all of the achievements without having to play it, and then I can be like, well, I platinumed it in like less than 2, so...
Taylor, watching you speedrun that game was fun, especially with the weird glitches.
It was.
Well, the glitches are amazing in that game. That's what makes it fun.
It's
I don't
like-
even know how it's happening half the time. Like when I have 2 Donnas at once, I don't know what's happening, but I just know it works.
I just love that you just like randomly go and you see the master, and then Donna dies, and it's like, what the heck's going on?
That's great. Yep.
Oh, like the only thing I could really comprehend in that is like the infinite jumps, but like everything else is just like. Oh.
If you play that normally, would you just instinctively just start doing the infinite jumps?
Only if I was like really, really lost. Like there's this one part when you're in the ruins, and you had to hit a bunch of switches, and I couldn't figure out like what to do. I'm like, fuck it. I know if I can infinite jump over, if I just jump over the door, I can just glitch it, so I'll go through the door. So that was the only time I did that in the game, and then the rest of the time I just played it normal.
I need to get back to Ease 8 or Ease 9. I haven't beat it yet.
You haven't beat Ease 9? Oh, wow.
No, because I was playing it on my PS4, and then I got a PS5, and I transferred everything over, and then I stopped playing it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That'll
so
be
it's-
good because the PS5 patch is out now, so like they got a dedicated patch for it. It's 4K 60. Ooh.
Yes, awesome.
Opposed to 1080p 35.
Yep. I haven't even noticed. Ugh. Well, I don't even have a 4K. It's not even connected to 4K screen. Oh well. Anywho, that's gonna be it for this episode of the Giant Sword Podcast. Thank you, Kraft, for joining us. It was fun.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll join us again sometime in the
yeah.
future. With a game that you've actually played.
Oh dear.
But yeah, thanks guys. If you liked what you listened to, comment, like, and subscribe. If you listen onto iTunes or anything, please give us a review, and we will see you next week. See ya.
Later.
Bye.